What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over 5 things that I like about my 2004 Honda Accord EX V6, my daily driver. A couple weeks ago we did the same video on my 2003 350Z Track Edition, and I've since detailed it so it's nice and clean right now. Pretty happy about that. Car is looking good. So check out that video. I did 2 videos. I did one 5 things that I like, and then another 5 things that I don't like on this car. And we're going to do the same thing on the daily, on the Accord EX V6. This is a 2004. I've talked about this before. I was in New York for a decade. This was my parents' car, which they didn't drive that much, so it got a lot of garage time and not a lot of use. It is 20 years old now. Has 75,000 miles. I took it over as a daily, and here are 5 things that I really like about having this car as a daily. First thing, under the hood. I like that it's a V6 and it's naturally aspirated. It's 240 horsepower, I think like 215 foot-pounds of torque, not a ton of power. Made it to a 5-speed automatic, so it's not exactly sporty, but it's enough power for me to get around town, to pass the slow people, to merge into traffic. And these engines are pretty much bulletproof. They're very reliable. This car's just been fantastic when it comes to doing the basics really well. It does a great job with the basics. Nothing breaks, it runs smooth. It has a good sound. It is bone stock, but it does have a good sound that's nice and smooth. This is that era of Honda where we didn't have a lot of tech. The tech was just starting to come. This car has traction control, ABS, and that is about it. That is about it. I corrected the paint last year, so the paint is looking really good. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I mean, not bad for a 21-year-old or 20-year-old grandma car, right? Not bad at all. So the second thing that I like about this car is the overall size. When this first came out, this was a big Accord. But in today's world, I'd say it's about the ideal size for a sedan. I'm 6 feet tall. I can easily fit in here. I'm in the passenger seat. Plenty of headroom, plenty of leg room. There's just plenty of room in here. Same for the back seats. Then we get in the back. Get in the back seat. And plenty of room. Plenty of room. I could handle a long trip in here, and I'd be fine. And the seat is back pretty far, as you can see. I just sat in the front. So a lot of space, plenty of room. We've got cup holders, pretty fancy. There's our 5-speed automatic transmission, which it's not as fun as a manual, but for a daily, you know, it does the job. This car is a manual, so I get the road gears in this car, which this is a car I definitely wouldn't want in an automatic, so don't mind the automatic in the daily as long as I can have the manual in the fun car. Okay, so in the driver's seat, plenty of room. And visibility is fantastic in this car too. It's the old school Honda fit and finish. Less is more, plenty of room, great visibility everywhere. Easy to access everything, easy to reach the glove box, center console, cup holders. You've got some storage in there for CDs, which I am not using. Interesting enough, so I've just kept the standard disc player, and I just listen to the radio when I'm in here, or I don't listen to music at all. I mean, I just, you know, I have Bluetooth in the other car, and on other cars that I've had, I just get crazy with trying to find the perfect song. And it's kind of nice to step into this and just to be back in time 20 years, and I just can relax and drive. And there's no tech in my face, and I love that. And I'm invisible on the road. Let's check out the trunk. So in the trunk, there's plenty of room. There's what's in here? A bunch of blankets and towels. Got one of these for the summertime. Look at this. I think this was my dad's. It's still in here. This nightlight. This is probably like 30 years old. I bet that's over 30 years old. Anyway, so plenty of room in the trunk. You know, if I got to throw a few bodies in there, no problem at all. But yeah, it's a good sized car. It's a good sized car, not too big, not too small, easy to park. Doesn't take up a lot of space on the road. The third thing that I love about my 2004 Honda Accord is that it's a grandma car. It's a grandma spec. It's a sedan, it's completely stock, white on tan, which is great for the summertime, by the way, because it doesn't get too hot. But I'm invisible in this car. I never get pulled over. I don't have to worry about getting tickets, knock on wood. You know, I mean, because you never know. I mean, I'm sure if I was doing 110, 120, you know, or 20, 30 over in a school zone, yeah. But for the most part, I'm invisible, I'm not a target. So you've got to love that. It's just good to have a car where you're not always the center of attention. It's nice to blend in and not be seen. The fourth thing that I love about my 2004 Honda Accord is the visibility. And I did touch on this earlier, but look, visibility is fantastic in this car. There aren't really any blind spots. It's easy to see if you have to look over your shoulder. The windows are nice and big. Everything just makes sense. Driving position is good. The wheel's up a bit. This does tilt and telescope manually. Big speedometer and tachometer. Everything just makes sense. Functional buttons. If I need to turn the AC on and off right here, radio controls, heated seats. I mean, everything is just simple. Buttons. This was at the point where they were just starting to put buttons on the steering wheel in the early 2000s. Well, mid 90s for luxury cars, but normal cars like the Honda, it was in the mid 2000s. And I don't even use these, but everything is easy to read. You have your traditional sunroof controls right here on the left, like most Hondas. Just traction control, which no reason to turn off on this car. You're not going to be doing burnouts in this car anyway, but that is definitely something I love about this car is the visibility. The visibility is fantastic. The thing that I like about my Honda Accord is it does what it's supposed to do, and that is be a reliable car to get you from point A to point B and not break the bank. It's been very reliable. It still gets good mileage, still gets about 30, maybe a little more, 32 on the highway. Tires are relatively inexpensive. Brakes are relatively inexpensive. It does have a timing belt. I'd prefer a timing chain, but other than that, the maintenance on a car like this is simple. It's easy. Anybody can work on it. They still have tons of parts for these cars. And that's why you buy one. You don't buy one of these to show up at Cars and Coffee and get a lot of attention, because you're not going to get any. You know, you're not going to, little kids, you drive by a school, the little kids aren't going to get excited because you're in a Lamborghini. It's nothing like that. But it does what it's supposed to do really, really well, and that is just be a really good daily driver, start up every time, and not cause you any problems. So those are the 5 things that I like about my Honda Accord. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe, and stay tuned. I'm going to do 5 things that I don't like about this car, because there are things that I don't like about it too. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.